Alright, so took a marker and traced out, even though this is going to come across here, I'm going to just leave this extra on here. So now I'm going to just come through cut this pattern out. Save that for a later day. Alright, so I got both sides sprayed off here. I normally, like I said, I wait 2 or 3 minutes, give it time to dry out. Then I'll lay this down on here. If you look, this side is foam, but this got like a little mat or screening on the back side. So I normally glue this side down on the back side, but if you were sewing, you would most definitely want the mat in here on the back side, because that gives the thread something to hold to, where if this wasn't on here, like if you buy foam and the foam don't have this little screening or matting on the back side, you have to buy like a matting to lay down on your fabric, on your foam, and that'll give the thread something to catch to on the back side, because you can't just sew directly on foam. It'll just pull straight through. So you got to have some kind of screen or matting on the back side. So now that I got this ready here, come in here, and what I want to make sure is that on this back side I got enough all the way around. Give this something to hold to. Alright. Then I'm going to just press this down. I'm going to just roll this over. Alright. Alright, even though it's like almost 0 below windshield factor out there, I ain't been wanting to go out in the garage, guys. But I didn't want to walk that little 15 steps to get out there. But anyway, I need a good razor blade for these panels to turn out really nice. So I had to go out in the freezing weather and get a good razor blade here, guys. So okay, so I just want to come through and poke me some holes through here. Alright, so now I'm going to come through here now. I want to make sure I got enough to wrap over in front up here, all the way down. Enough to play with back there. I can actually come this way. What you thinking, guys? Pull this back off here. Now shine this baby up with that blue polish that I use, that mellow polish. I got a video on that blue polish. It came out real good, but I got a buffer. If I hit it with the buffer, all these little scuff marks and scratches are just, you know, all of that will just come up out of there. So I gotta cut and separate this, and I gotta sew my welt cord in here, and my piping with the red piping and the red stitching. So I got to get this sewed up here. So then I got a thing measured here for a welt cord, and I got an 1.75 inches for my welt cord. That's what size I normally do welt cords. I just want to come across and do 1.25 inches all the way across here. So actually I'm going to cut this up. Alright guys, so I'm going to come in now, and I'm going to do the other part of this pattern. Now, the thing is that I'm going to go a little farther up than what this is. I just like to give myself room to play with, and I can cut off the extra material. But on this end, I want to go a 1/2 inch. I'm not going to use, I'm going to use these markers that's erasable. Come down. I'm going to just do a 1/2 inch, and it's going to just give myself more room to play with here. So I'm going to just lay this down flat. And I'm going to just give myself extra room to play with here, guys. That's what I always do. Give myself more room to play with. So here I'm going to just come a 1/2 inch. You always want to go a 1/2 inch. That's for your whirl cord. Or your seam. You know, especially when you button or seaming, putting two pieces together, you always want that 1/2 inch grace on your material. Alright. And this marker is erasable. Alright, so then with the original panel, I'll just sit this up here, make sure this is all going to line up, which is fine. Alright, so then on this end here, guys, alright, so what I'm going to do is that I just want to come across, no science, but I do want to make a straight line. Then what I can do is come in and take my scissors. I just want to cut a V. I just want to cut a V out of there. So that's going to let me know where this cord needs to stop. Okay? That cord needs to stop about right there. So I'm going to take and cut another V. Right there, guys. Alright. Now I could have made this longer to wrap around, but what I'm going to end up doing is cutting the vinyl and letting the white vinyl come right down across instead of the red running all the way around. I'm going to have the vinyl come straight across, and then when I sew the other part on, it'll sew the panel will be sewed in on there. So then I want to come around, and I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side over here. So So then I'm gonna come and I'm gonna do the same thing. I wanna mark, I wanna cut me a little V right there. I can take my put a blue line all the way across there. Then the same thing. Want to hold this down in place on the other end. I'm going to bend this around. Alright, so already I see, even though I had this measured out, okay, it's going to end up in the same spot. Alright, so then I'm going to come through, which I know is going to be right at that, I want that to end right there, whether I have to pull the other material or stretch the other or shrink this one in. I know where I want this to end, that is right at the end of where that cord stopped there. So I'm going to cut me a couple of slits out on both sides there. Alright, so also, the blue line I got on there, now this is a erasable marker. You know, it's mark be gone. This also let me know where my red stitch needs to start and stop. Because, you know, when you're doing certain panels, you do a back stitch to lock the stitch. I don't want to lock the stitch on this end, on either end. I want to take it, pull it through, and tie it on the back side and glue it so it finished off looking neat without a lot of material in there. So I'll show you all of that in a minute here, guys. So, all right, so I'm gonna change this foot out real quick. See that foot there? That's a guide. It's a guide foot there. It's got this little guide on here. I see if you can see this one here. It's got a indentation on it there. See that? And what that does is that rides right along this cord, and it's shaped for that. Now you can this is a right, but you can get them to make a left foot because sometimes you have to go the opposite way. So normally you can just use one on both sides, but I only got the one for the one side. So you put this on here, you want to make sure that you are making sure that this is centered. I'm going to let that needle up and down. Make sure that's centered, then I'm going to tighten this up. This foot here, see that there? It's got an indentation on this side too. You can see that there. And like I say, what that does, it helps both of these, it'll stay in between the cord. All right, so first off, I'm gonna come in here, guys, and this is for the left door panel. All right, so I want to make sure I got top, so I automatically know this is the top. All right, so automatically first, the side that the material is on, the velour, the red side, I want to place it with the cord, and I'm gonna mark up, I'm gonna line up these two dots, two V's here that I cut in. That's gonna let me know exactly where I need to start. All right, so then I always like to pull my thread through the foot there. Leave my needle up out my way. And then I want to start my stitch right where my two marks that I showed you before are. So I'm going to just look at this. And I want to start just up a pad, just right there. Alright, so I pull my string tight, let it down, and then you just want to line your materials up here, guys. Alright, make sure, like I say, the red is to the white. Make sure it's face to face on your material. Then all I'm going to do, I'm going to go up, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go back, and that's locking my stitch there. Now, I don't mind the stitch being locked here because you're not going to see this that I'm sewing in here. Now, honestly, I didn't have to do these two before, because you can just line these materials, put all three of these, and then just sew this in if you're good, you know. But to me, it's just easier to work with my stuff by me doing this piece separate and stitching the cord in, then coming in here, sewing this up like this. So it's just easier for me. So then all I'm doing is just making sure that all the way down where I'm sewing this, that I'm keeping my two materials lined up. That's all I'm doing. Alright, so for me to do this like this, where this is like on top, and it's not sticking out as far when you do it this way. Now this here, you know, is the way the factory have it. I'm just going with a red pinstripe. But for me to get this in here like so, this is what I'm doing here. I'm gonna come in and show you how I do this. And what this is the piece that goes up and all the way around. So I got this bottom part sewed in. So I still got to come and do a top part, you know, the top part of the panel here on there, and then door panel pretty much be ready to go. But I'm gonna come in and show you how I do this here. So just to make sure that this is all gonna match up and bend down here at this end, I put me a couple of slits in there to make sure that's gonna line up. So alright, so the same thing with this upper panel, guys. I'm just flipping this around the opposite side. I'm gonna make sure that my threads over here is out the way. Can you see them? Those threads are out the way, face to face. And on this, I can do a lock stitch with it. So the grandson is here, so he's making a bunch of noise. I always love to see him. So I'm gonna go forward and come back a couple of stitches, and then I'm coming forward. And the cord is in between here still. So what? Alright guys, first off I want to show you. This is a guide foot, okay? Then I got a welt cord foot. Then, you know, you got different feet that you could put on here. Now I can sew with this foot on here. But it only takes me a few minutes to swap these out. So I'm going to change this around, change this foot to a welt cord foot. Now I'm going to show you the difference in that foot that I'm going to use to sew this piece on here. Come on, the light on up under there. Alright, so then, like I say, you want this to be flat. And I'm going to just walk this down through there, just keeping that edge right in between that line. And it's going to give me the perfect line that I want here on this. So like I said, I love this machine because, see, I can walk around this corner pretty darn slow. I can just take my time and just walk right around that corner, man. So I just want to leave myself quite a bit of room to work with, because see, now what I do is on this other side is that I'm gonna just pull this up, and then I'm gonna pull this material through like this. Okay, so I got both threads on this side. That's stopping right where I want it to. Then when I'm ready, I'll tie both of these in a knot, and then I'll glue it down back here, you know, just for a little extra caution, guys. So you see what I mean? I just want to make sure when I put this piece on that it matches up with this here. So I won't glue this one down. This one is glued already. But the top piece, I'll finish this up. It won't take nothing, no time to glue that down and put that door panel on in the spring. So I just want to get the interior done. Now I'll take this up to the vault and lay it up on top of the car up there where it don't be nowhere getting dirty. put it in a plastic bag or something, and get both of them done, lay them on each other, and put them in a plastic bag and go from there. So, alright guys, let me know what you think. I still got the other door panel to do, and this other back kick panel. Man, it take a while to get this done, guys. I don't think you really know how much work it took to do this, and it was my first time doing it, and I'm getting better as I'm going along. But normally people do bigger diamonds than this, you know, but by that being so small, and it was a job, but this is the way I want it done, guys. So I like my cars to be different, one of a kind, and I'm not gonna see it nowhere else. So let somebody see this video and copy it. Don't do that, guys. Don't. All right, have a good day. What?
The camera's upside down.
You upside down.
No,
no, you upside down. That's you.
No, it's not.
What you been doing? That you hallucinating?
No, I'm not.
Huh?
You hallucinating. You're both hallucinating.
Well, what you say about this interior?
I said it's super sick.
What, sick? You gonna throw up or something?
No, it means something that is super cool, but you just say it's sick because it's very, very cool. You don't want to say, that is really, really cool, but not that loud.
Man,
so
I think you want to throw up all on my buttons is what I think.
If I had to throw up, I want to have ran.
Man, hold on. Well, what about when I put this on there?
What?
Sick. Do this make you sicker?
No. That's cool. That all is cool.
How'd it go? Let me see.
It's supposed to
go like that.
This.
Did that make you sicker?
No. It makes me in love with this. And then if you want, you can glue this to that.
That don't make you... Boy, go so get back.
Ow.
Boy, now, did that hurt?
No.
Well, why you say ow? You know Granddad will never hurt you, boy.
If I did something bad, yeah.
If you did something bad?
Yeah.
That's for your dad. Granddads don't hurt little kids. So what about that? Did that look sicker, or do it just still look sick?
It looks very cool.
Oh.